Yippee! Okay, I think my gain is like up or something. No, actually, Actually, it's fine. I don't know why I thought the mic sounded louder than usual. Or maybe it is. We'll see. Anyway, how you guys doing? Voice is fine? Alright, cool. Cool. How you guys doing? Happy day after Bearsgiving! Excuse me. Not me burping after eating leftovers. Hello, how you guys doing? How is your guys's... If you're in Bear America, how is your Bearsgiving? It's Friday in California. Huh? Shuto. How you guys doing? It is... Yeah, it's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy end of the week. Yippee! Let's see who we got here. I'm like a teensy bit, not really out of it, but I was just I don't know why I decided to do this, but to like I think about 2 or 3 hours ago, I decided like, oh, I should clean out my Twitter bookmarks. And I've been doing that for like 3 hours up until like literally even after I pressed start recording, I was still cleaning stuff. I'm still cleaning stuff up. Why do I have so many bookmarks? But it's probably a good thing I did that because now I have a bit more art to appreciate for today. So we'll go into that. That's a lot of bookmarks, yeah. Yeah, but let's say hello. Let's see who we got here. Let's see who's appreciating art with us. But hello, Matthew. Hello, Saribot, our rock. Matthew, you were in fact first, both before and after I started streaming. And then let's see, Fugubi, you got your sticker. Matthew, you got your sticker. Voice is fine. I didn't buy much of anything for Black Friday. Me neither. I really tried to like get my Christmas shopping done, but one thing is that because me and Bean share a room, it's hard for me to shop for him. He did step out just now to go take a nap because he's been working pretty hard on a essay. But yeah, it's been hard. I can still get stuff for the rest of the family and for my coworkers and stuff, but I don't know. Today I feel like I wanted like my morning to chill, and then it got too chill, and now it's 6:30 in the evening and I'm like, oh, I think I chilled too hard. I didn't do much of anything today, but it's not really such a bad thing. DNR, hello. You're also kind of out of it. Yeah, I feel it. I think in my case, it's because it's the day after Thanksgiving where I'm like, I don't want to do anything today. Got the little bookmarks. Yeah, I'm still going through it. There's so much. And like, I was looking at like the date of some of the posts that like I bookmarked them. And right now I'm at, I think March or May of 2024. And there's still more. There's still more. Emolge, hello. Ren, hello. Buy things on mobile in the fight room. The post-turkey missitis. I think that's what it is. I didn't even have turkey yesterday. But let's chat about it. Let's yap about it, shall we? Let's get to class. Hello. Hello. How you guys doing? It's me, Bobinka Bear, your local Sunbear art history teacher and educational streamer. And today we're doing some art appreciation. We actually have our first work up on the telly. But we can also yap for a little bit. We can also get the music started. What kind of music are we listening to today? Let's see. Harpsichord enjoyer. Hello. Yippee! I slept for 2 hours waiting for... Oh, you're on another flight. So you could sleep there. Do you have any luck with sleeping on the airplane? Yeah, art appreciation time. How about this? We'll put on something called Gunblaze Assault. It's by an artist called Miami Nights 1984. This is an album that is meant to, it's based off, okay, I found out about this from Super Eyepatch Wolf's video on fake video games, which I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've talked about it, but I'm just a fan, you know? I just love the concept. But this is an album that is like the OST for a video game that doesn't exist. It's like one of those like side scroll shooters from ye olden times. So game doesn't exist, but the music is banging, so we'll play it. Oh no, that's here. There we go. Gunblaze Assault. Meowdy. I'm so tired I could just fall asleep anywhere it's safe to. Yeah. I know that there are people though, I think Beans included, that like they just can't fall asleep on an airplane. And it kind of sucks, right? Because like if you're on like an 18-hour flight or like a actually, how long was the one to Japan? I think Philippines is 18 hours or 16, and then it's less for Japan. But I just remember like that's the best time to sleep. You got nothing to do, but I think it's like a comfort thing. Like in order to sleep, I feel like some folks, sometimes myself included, you need to be lying straight down, right? And you can't do that unless you have a business class. And yeah, I don't want to spend money on business class. Even though the amenities are pretty cool. Like when we flew Japan Airlines, we did not economy, but I think economy plus or economy premium or something, like the step up from economy. It was pretty nice. Like the seats, especially Japan Airlines, like their seats are pretty comfy. And you could splurge for the business class because you actually can like set up your seat in a way where you can lie like flat. It's really nice, but it's also expensive. It's also kind of expensive. I like the part where he mentioned how the soundscape evokes a certain nostalgia was so spot on. Yeah, right? Yeah, I love that. I love that. Couldn't relate to the part where we talked about people not being old enough to have experienced the Dreamcast. I never had a Dreamcast. Like, I was like the prime age group for that, but I never had it. Because I think that is one of the things of like, it's one thing of like being born in like the time where like the Dreamcast and the Sega Genesis and all those things were like really popular. It's another thing if you like owned one, if you played the games, because like I was in that age range, but I didn't have no money. I ain't got no money. The only consoles that I owned was like the N64. I didn't even have a GameCube, but even the N64 was like a big ask. And back then, like, you couldn't just like buy multiple games. You had to play the one game you had over and over and over again. Which is why I think the nostalgia is so like powerful, because it's like, oh, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, front and back. You know all the secrets and cheat code, or no, not cheat codes, but all the secrets. So when you see stuff that like emulates it, it's like, oh, I remember that. Your friend had one. I didn't have one either. I just had the NES and SNES I got from my sisters. Yeah, that's another thing that like I was in that like people around me had an NES and SNES, but I never did. I think one time my dad got the SNES. I don't know. I didn't really grow up playing any of those games though. The NES or SNES. My first console was like N64 and PS1. But I do have this memory of playing Duck Hunter though. I played Duck Hunter with like the little gun, but I just don't remember having like an NES or SNES. So maybe it was at like a cousin's house or something. I don't know. Me and my siblings only had the N64 as kids. We would be stuck playing GoldenEye and obscure fighting games. Yeah, exactly, right? Those were the times. Those were the times. Secondhand Nintendo exposure. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Because I remember, well, I was reminiscing a lot yesterday because for Thanksgiving, for Bears Giving, I went over to, actually, yeah, we could talk about Bears Giving. The lunch we had with Beans' family, and that was a nice little, like, all vegan except for the duck lunch. And then later in the evening, I went to the mom side of my family. And I got to see my siblings, I got to see my cousins, and the conversations trended towards like, oh, remember this? You remember when this happened? It was a lot of like nostalgic, reminiscing. So we were talking a lot about like, oh, I remember like growing up with my cousin, and like he was like a bit older than me, but like we were the only like grandkids for a while until like my younger siblings were born and like our younger cousins were born. So it was just us two for a while. With light guns? Yeah, I had a light gun. Duck Hunt at the arcade. I don't think it was at the arcade. It was at home. I remember being at home. I don't know if we like borrowed it or if it was like my cousins or something, but I remember it was like at my very small like apartment. Super small, because it's like a 1-bedroom apartment, but it like I shared the room with like my parents, but also like my little brother was born. So I remember it being really cramped. But I remember during that time I had like a little Game Boy Color. I had like the smallest TV you ever did see, but I think my dad hooked up either, if we had an SNES or NES, he hooked it up. I do remember using the little gun. So yeah. But going back to like the conversation about like me and my cousin, I have like one elder cousin. I actually have a few cousins that are like older than me, but the eldest ones lived in the Philippines. So the only cousin that I had with me here in Bear America, he was like a couple of years younger than me. Technically, he's not even related to me. He's my aunt's stepchild from like a no. So I have a godfather, okay. And he is he's my uncle, but he's my uncle through marriage. He's married to my aunt, who's, you know, my aunt by blood. So that's my uncle, and my godfather at the same time. He has a kid from a previous marriage. Yeah, I guess uncle-in-law, I guess. Saribot. Okay, Saribot got it. Wait, did he? How come I'm still seeing it? Timeout ban. I guess they just show you. They still show you like what the bot is saying. But anyway. So yeah, it's my cousin, but he's actually like my uncle's kid from a previous marriage. So technically we're not even related, but we grew up together, so we might as well be cousins, right? So he was only a couple years older than me. I used to go to like, I guess his mom's house every so often. I forgot, like it wasn't my aunt's house. It was like someone else's house. I'm getting like into the nitty-gritty details when I don't really need to, but like I would watch him play Sonic. I don't remember which Sonic, but I was definitely watching him playing a Sonic game. And oh my god, who was it? I remember I really liked Knuckles and I really liked Tails. And because I was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old at the time, I thought Tails was a girl. And I think what didn't help is that, like, actually, could you hear Tails' voice in any of the early games? Because I know that, like, more recently in, like, movies and stuff, Tails is voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who's the voice of Sora from Digimon. So he has, like, a feminine voice. But I don't know if you could actually hear his voice back then in, like, the old games. But anyway, for the longest time, I remember thinking that, like, Tails is a girl. And I remember arguing with my cousin about it. I feel like I should name him. We'll name him Bear Topher. My cousin Bear Topher. And I remember like I would watch Bear Topher play Sonic, but then we would get into arguments because I was like, oh, I like Tails because Tails is a girl, and he'd be like, no, he's not a girl, he's a boy. And because I was like 6 years old, I would, like, you know, throw a tantrum and be like, no, he's a girl, it's a girl. And I distinctly remember my aunt and uncle coming up to us and being like, why is Binka crying? Like, Bear Topher, why is Binka crying? And they would, like, talk about, like, he would like explain the argument. And I think my aunt and uncle were like, just say that it's a girl. Just say that Tails is a girl. And my cousin Bear Topher would be like, but it's not a girl, it's a boy. But they were just like, just humor her. Just humor this crying cub. The 6-year-old cub. I like distinctly remember that. And now in retrospect, it's like, that's like funny, charming, but also embarrassing, because it's like Tails is definitely a boy. That's kind of what we did with family, to just chilling, remembering funny things when we were kids. Funny things we all agreed for no turkey, so we had barbecue with salmon. Ooh, that sounds yummy. We also didn't have turkey this year. I think I shared the picture in the Discord, but they got 2 things of fish for me, as well as they had like pancit, sisig, other Filipino treats that I couldn't have, but at the very least they got me fish. So that's the good part. I thought you were gonna say, oh yeah, that's how I found out I was a furry. I'm not a furry, I'm a bear. I'm not a furry though. How can a bear with fur be a furry? You know what I mean? Roberto, I should have said that. But it's okay. You guys now know of Bear Topher. I don't see him that much nowadays, but we're still friends. You know, we're still cousins. And he's half brothers with like my actual cousin. So there was a bibinka at my sister's place for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think you posted it, right? It was a cassava bibinka. How was that? Was it good? Because I've had cassava cake, and I've had bubinka, but I've never had them combined like that. But at the same time, I see the vision, you know? I feel like there's not okay. Maybe this is gonna be controversial, but I remember seeing a tweet a while back where it was someone posting, you know, like an Americanized like Filipino bakery where they had oh my god, what was it? I was it like a leche flan Danish or something like that? It was like a combination. It was some kind of like fusion of like Western, aka like American European, with like Filipino pastries and stuff. And I just saw the comment section kind of clowning on it because it's like, oh, it's like gentrified Filipino bakery, you know? But I don't know, maybe it's because I live here in Los Bincos where you just see a lot of fusion food and a lot of like, oh, it's Filipino but with like a little twist. Or it's you know, it's Japanese Brazilian fusion food, or it's Mexican Filipino fusion, or it's Mexican Jamaican fusion. I don't know. I just see that so often that I'm like, oh, like I guess yeah, it's probably gentrified because it's probably gonna cost a bit more compared to like your classic Filipino bakeries. But I don't know. I didn't really see the issue with it. So I was gonna say like that's why like I have no issue with like if you're gonna combine cassava with bibinka, why not? You know. I have a friend, a coworker, a very close coworker, who her specialty is I think like ube pie. I forgot if it was like ube cheesecake or ube pie, but it's like an ube dessert, and it's like, oh, that sounds so banger. I love that. I didn't have any. I ate one donut from a place upstate and was overwhelmed with sugar. Good way to be comatose on a couch for a couple of hours. Oh, I feel that. We did have karaoke at Bearsgiving, though. We did have karaoke, but it was just me and my aunt that were singing. No one else wanted to sing. All of the cousins, like my age and younger, they were too shy. Though my brother was looking through the songbook. I did see him look through the songbook. I feel like if his favorite band is like All American Rejects, or one of his favorite bands is like All American Rejects, I feel like had he found Move Along by All American Rejects, I feel like he would have sung. But the younger cousins were all too shy, you know? And to be fair, they did kind of cite one of the reasons why is that like at my dad's side of the family, they used to force the kiddos to sing karaoke. And I remember my sister being like, that was kind of traumatic. I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of get that. I'm okay with fusion or new attempts because that's how food culture evolves, but I will draw the line when they take the food from my place, remove everything that makes it authentic, and oh my god, call it an elevated version. Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of, have you guys seen that video of like Gordon Ramsay? And he like, you know, everyone's so used to Gordon Ramsay being the person that's like, shut up. It's raw. You call this what is it? It's Master Chef, not masturbate. You know, like he says stuff like that. But there's a video on Twitter where he made pad thai and gave it to I think like a Thai chef, and the chef just like glared daggers at him. He's just like, this is not pad thai. What you made is not pad thai. That's what that reminds me of. The band that did Dirty Little Secret. Yeah, that exact one. And Gives You Hell. It gives you hell and it gives you hell. In fact, I was gonna say like in honor of my brother, but that makes it sound like he's like dead. But no, he's very much alive. All American Rejects. I just don't get to see him as much as I'd like to. Alright. Dirty Little Secret, there we go. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were doing karaoke. My younger cousins are like, nah, like we don't want to sing. So my aunt was singing, I was singing. And I don't know, I feel like growing up I wouldn't have been the kind of person to do karaoke in front of the relatives. I would have been too embarrassed. And I kind of was embarrassed to sing, but at the same time, I feel like someone among the cousins has to make a fool of themselves so that other people get comfortable. That's gonna be my plan, is to like, I'll be the one that embarrasses myself. I don't mind as much. As long as, because also I get to do karaoke, and I do like doing karaoke. One or you'll be just another regret. So yeah. We were just doing a lot of reminiscing. We were doing a lot of a little bit of karaoke. We're showing each other our favorite, you know, Twitter memes and whatnot. And eventually, like, the older cousins did like split off, but I stayed with like my siblings and like the younger cousins. But when I went over to the older cousins, they were talking amongst themselves about I guess this is where it's gonna get a little bit on the sadder side of things, but my grandma, she's my last grandparent, and she's also like the grandparent that I would say I'm the closest to. I'll keep this part short because like it is a little depressing, but she's fine physically, but the dementia is starting to settle in, so she is forgetting a lot of things. Including people, which I think is like kind of the sad part. Cuz she kind of forgot who I was. And but I guess okay, yeah, this is gonna sound really depressing, but this isn't the first time this has happened with an older relative. The first time was my step grandpa, my grandma's husband. Um, my grandma, when she came over to America, she was already, I guess, divorced from my grandpa, but she remarried to this American guy, this white American guy, and that's actually the grandpa that I grew up with. So we'll call him I guess Dada Bear because I used to call him Dada. So Dada Bear, he actually passed away a couple of years back, but before that he had a stroke, and I guess like either Alzheimer's or like dementia, like also either simultaneously or like as a result of the stroke also like hit him. So when I visited him, he didn't remember me, and I remember I took it really hard. I think I don't remember how old I was at the time. I think I was like a teenager or something, or younger 20s. And I remember like taking it really hard. Like I remember like because it was like the first time I've seen him in like a while. He didn't remember who I am, and I remember going to the bathroom and just crying a lot. And the bathroom was right next to the room, so my mom and my grandma heard me crying. So they were like checking on me, and they were like, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And I was like, he doesn't remember me." Like it feels like it feels really sad, you know, to know that someone that like you care a lot for doesn't remember you at all. And then after a couple of they like calmed me down, and I went to see my step grandpa again, or Dada Bear. And because I had taken off my glasses, I think I had my hair up in a ponytail and I was wearing my glasses because, you know, that was just my look for the day. But I had this idea that like maybe if I made myself look more how I was when I was a little girl, like how he remembers me, maybe he'll remember me. So I like took off my ponytail, I took off my glasses, and my grandma asked him, "Do you remember who that is?" And he like took a good long hard look at me, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, that's my beloved granddaughter." And he said the word beloved too, which I think made me even more emotional. Because he has like biological I'm not his biological grandchild. Like he had a family before, and he has biological grandchildren. But he also like I also grew up with him, even though I'm not his like biological grandchild, you know. So I grew up like knowing him, and I remember like living with him, and he would like tell me about like aliens and spaceships and stuff because he was like really into sci-fi. So he said like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You're my beloved granddaughter." And I remember that was like saddest but also like happiest moment of my life is like, okay, you do remember me. So fast forward a couple years after he did pass away. So now knowing that my grandma, his wife essentially, my grandma is like also starting to go through that same thing. But last night I didn't really take it that bad when because first it was my aunt. My aunt was like, "Oh, grandma doesn't remember you. Like, come talk to her. Come talk to her." And it was weird because my grandma is still like, I don't know, kind of lucid. It's just that like she spoke fine, but she just didn't remember who I was. But you could kind of like tell with the way she was talking and the way she was looking at me is that she was really trying. She was like, "Really? Like who are you? Like, you're my granddaughter? Really?" Like, it wasn't like a casual like, "Oh, okay." It was like she was trying really hard. she was like, "You're this person's daughter? Really?" Like, And I remember trying the same thing where I would like take off my glasses, and I would even show her pictures of like myself as like a little cub, and she'd be like, "That's you?" Like she would point at like other people in the picture and being like, "Who's that? Who's that? Like, really? That's them?" So she's trying it really hard. And then when I went to go talk with the other cousins, I was telling them about it because the reason why I brought it up is because like I saw a picture of like me and my other cousins, and I just went to like show it to them, like, "Oh, look, it's us." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I was trying to show grandma like pictures to see if it would jog her memory." And then they said something like, "Oh, that might actually like confuse her more, so try not to do that." Which I didn't know. I didn't know that like I don't, you know, I don't usually work with people that have dementia. I know that there are certain things that you should like keep in mind when it comes to like working with people with dementia or Alzheimer's, where like, you know, don't like if someone is asking about someone who's passed away, don't just be like, "Oh, that person's freaking dead." You know, like they say don't do that. Instead, you should like ask, like go off of what they know and ask them things like, "Oh, where do you think they might be?" Like instead of just being like, "Yeah, that person's freaking dead," you know? like if they're asking about their like parent or their spouse or something, just be like, "Oh, who, you know, where do you think they are? Where do you think they might be right now?" And just kind of go off of that. I didn't know that either. I should keep that in mind too. Yeah, there's like a lot of things that I guess I should do some research on, like how to talk with people with dementia. Do not spoil current events, Naruhodo. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I have to do a little bit of research, and they did. Okay, this is gonna sound super depressing. Okay, funny depressing, but still depressing nonetheless. Because my uncle was like, "Oh, you know, one thing that she hasn't forgotten. Ask her about Trump. She loves Trump." And I'm like, "Oh God," because I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I do have relatives that are supporters of that. Yeah, my grandma is one of them, and it's because she was like a lifelong Republican. I think because of my grandpa, my step grandpa, who I still feel like had my grandpa like not had his stroke and like not, you know, passed away, I feel like he wouldn't have liked Trump. I don't know if that's like copium, but I don't think he would have liked him. I don't know. Maybe that's just copium because it's like I just have fond memories of my grandpa, but yeah, like he was my grandpa was like a lifelong Republican, and my grandma kind of also like adhered to you know, stuff like that. And I think that would have been a little bit more forgivable when that side of politics was a little bit more moderate. But anyway, I'm getting into a whole thing. We don't need to get into that thing, but apparently she still remembers a lot about Trump. So I was watching a political satire video that made me finally actually listen to Trump's voice. I've been avoiding it for all those years. He speaks like a trumpet. You guys notice that the way that he speaks with like, he curves his lips in a way that makes it sound like a trumpet. My dad was also Republican, no idea why. As a Burgerlander. Yeah, I think it's like, I remember talking with my coworker about this. I think it's because, for one, in the case of the Philippines, it's because like we were a former American colony, and a lot of our education came from like American Thomasites or something, like missionaries essentially. So a lot of the colonial, you know, ideologies are still very much embedded in our culture. So a lot of them, you know, have this mentality of like, "Oh, anything America is good. You want to be American. You want to be like, you know, national, what is it, patriotic, right?" But my coworker also told me about like apparently Vietnamese Americans are also like, especially the older ones, are also more likely to be Republican because they suffered so much under communist regimes and they don't want to see the rise of communism again, basically. So I don't know that much about Vietnamese history, but you know, it seems to track. And Falk, you got your sticker. At least the video was funny. It was the good work video on oh, super PACs. I see. Flabbergast me that Cuban Americans are super Republican, but yeah, right. Yeah, we could be here all day talking about like, man, why do people agree to ideologies that actively hurt them. But anyway. But yeah, that was pretty much my Thanksgiving. I wasn't super broken up about like my grandma. It's just more of like, I don't know why I now have this mentality of like, it is what it is, you know? The flow of time and whatnot. CIA works hard. Exactly. Dia Nork summed it up perfectly. Like, they work real hard. But yeah, other than that, I got good food. I got leftovers. I still got a lot of fish in the fridge. I might get some after stream. And overall, I had good food. Good company. It was good. And pretty excited for Christmas. Though I am realizing when I was looking through Instagram, I was seeing a bunch of my friends who like were also hanging out with their families or like extended families, and a lot of them, like a lot of their Instagram stories had to do with like games, like board games or card games. And I'm like, dang, I should bring something next time. My coworkers started bringing, have you guys heard of Left Right Center? It's a gambling game. It's a really simple gambling game too. It's basically like I think I told you guys about it before, but you roll a dice, and depending on like how the dice rolls, you give chips to like people on either side of you, or you keep them, and whoever has the most chips at the end gets like a prize. But usually you don't play with chips, you play with dollar bills. So you could start off with $5 and then end up with like, you know, depending on how many relatives you're playing with, you can end up with like $50 by the end of the day. When we were talking with a Cuban friend about the NYC election, they were panicking over the descent of New York into, oh no! Communism, Mom Donnie, oh my god. Shake salmon in front of Binka, like the keys to distract when she asked about homework. Oh, I do like salmon though. I do like a salmon. Keys! Swing, swing, swing. Actually, what are the lyrics to this? What is he actually saying? From the tangles of my heart is crushed by former love. Help me find a way to carry on again. Hello, Seishun. Hello. Hello. We were just talking about salmon and fish and, Thanksgiving celebrations and how I should maybe introduce my cousins to gambling. maybe or just card games. I guess I do. Ooh, you know what, I have been talking about how much I like Pasoi. I should end the specter of communism. I can't introduce my oh no, you know what, some of my cousins are already on that side of the political spectrum. But yeah, I bought a suit and tie, and my friend immediately clocked me saying, "Mom, Donnie, F it." No freaking way, dude. I'm excited for Mom Donnie. The fact that Trump is like in love with him. Anyway, we should stop with the political talk for now. But yeah, with that, I feel like we can get started with the art appreciation. While I'm still looking through my Twitter bookmarks, for those who like came in a little bit later, I basically like was just spending the last 3 hours just cleaning out my Twitter bookmarks, and I'm still working on it. But by doing that, I actually got quite a few art pieces that we could look at for today. Introduce them to Uma Musume. Oh, that is a form of gambling I can introduce them to. Kimi no aiba ga zakyun dakyun. Start running your way. So let's see. Oh my god, this song too. Let's see. What art do we have for today to appreciate? So we have a couple that was recommended by other folks. Wait, let me see. I'm pretty sure. Give me a second. Oh yeah, because Dia, you had recommended something from. Is this Arc Knights? This one. There's this one. Time Limited Girl by Garuku. And then there's this one. This is recommended by Matthew, I want to say, right? This is by Danny Galliote, American, born 1968, and then it's just called Oh Ish, I Chipped a Nail. 2012 oil on canvas. It's a pretty neat one. I don't know if we're gonna be able to zoom into it, but there's that. The next couple art pieces are all stuff from my bookmarks. So, and it's I unfortunately can't show you like my actual like list of bookmarks because it's on my personal Pao Pandan account, and there's just a mishmash of different things, such as like, you know, spoilers to random anime, or like, you know, a random movie that I'm like intrigued by, or, you know, art of the spicy varieties. So I can't just be scrolling through my bookmarks live on stream, live on the telly. So I just made a like selection of what art that we can like either briefly or like in depth go over. But there's this pretty cool piece. I haven't done research on any of these pieces, by the way, so it's just gonna be like you know, kind of a live react kind of situation. But it says here, this is called Vision of the Throne of the Lord from the Paris Apocalypse, unknown French miniaturist circa 1400. So this is a miniature work. The comment section, do we know how small the miniaturist was? We know it's Yaoi bookmarked. Yeah. Like, I would just like, I was gonna like think of, oh, maybe the stream is just me going through my bookmarks, but it's like, nah. We're not gonna do that. There might be a tad bit too much yaoi in there to go through live on stream. So there is that. Next one is another piece of like medieval work. This one's pretty cool. This was there was a period of several decades in the mid-15th century when the Flemish bookmakers produced books on vellum dyed black, which could only be inscribed with gold or silver ink. This one's called The Black Hours from the Morgan Library in New York. So this is what like the like writing looks like. The flex, right? And these are some of the illuminations. They look really cool. So I'm pretty cool to get a closer look at that. And then we fast forward a little bit to the Old West, where you could be a cowboy, baby. I want to be a cowboy, baby. So this is art of Mark Maggiore. This is pretty cool art right here. Once again, I didn't do research on any of these, so we might also do a little bit of research on the fly, you know? And then kind of in the same vein, this is the luscious brushwork in the paintings of Eric Bowman, born 1960. Ooh, semi-surrealist Western native art. Oh, that's kind of sick. I like that. And then, I don't know if we'll have time, but we also have some works by Matisse, one of the Impressionists, or was he post-Impressionist? I actually forgot. And then lastly, the haunting landscapes of New Zealand surrealist painter Brent Wong, born 1945. So actually we might just not do Matisse, even though I do like that work a lot. But just looking at the amount of like paintings that we already have, it might be a lot already. So with that, I'd say let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So this is Time Limited Girl. This is from Japanese, so what does it say? I can't read kanji, so well the last two kanji says shoujo, so maybe this is an accurate translation. But I'm actually not sure what series this is from. Oh, actually there's a Pixiv link. Hold on, let me check out the Pixiv link. 'Cause I don't think I'm logged in. Ah, yeah, because I'm not logged in, I can't, we can't get a closer look. So we'll just have to zoom into this one. I might just spend like a couple minutes on certain works and then being a little bit more in depth on other works, because I don't know this series that well. I'm just gonna go over like what I see visually that I really like. But yeah, it looks like a character from one of them gacha games, one of them cool, maybe Hoyoverse, maybe not kind of games. The outfit design is really cool. I like that it is a limited palette. It's mostly white. The outfit, the person, and like, you know, the character design all around. Mostly white with a little bit of black, and blue as almost an accent color. Or maybe black is the accent color. I think it's kind of 50-50. It's like 50% white, 25 black, 25 blue, I want to say. With a little accent of this metallic gold or silver. I think it's like black armor, but the highlights make it look like it's gold. What else are we seeing here? The background is pretty cool in terms of texture. If you really zoom into the background, you can kind of see all the digital brushwork. It's one of those examples that I like to refer to when it comes to like, you don't need your background to be super highly detailed. Some of these brushstrokes look like they were just kind of like haphazardly put on there, but it still makes this really cool effect, right? It doesn't need like, not every, like, I think this is the perfect example. Look at the brushwork here, where like from far away, this just reads as like, oh, you know what? I didn't do my vocal exercises. Maybe I'll do that during the ad break. It just reads as like a fence with foliage on it. It doesn't need to be super exact because it's from one part of the background. The main focus of the art piece is going to be this character, right? But it's still, that's not me like ragging on like the background work being lazy or anything. It's effective for what you need to show. Once again, the main focus is the character. The background adds really good ambiance and setting to it, but ultimately it doesn't need to be as detailed as the foreground. I think she might be from the Kuro games. Oh, okay. It's hard to tell with some of these designs if they're AI or not. Oh, maybe. I don't think so because I know AI has gone to the point where like a lot of things look pretty convincing, but there's certain things like that are kind of giveaways, like the hair and the number of fingers. This looks pretty consistent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the hands don't look super, you know, strange or anything. This looks like it's legit. I could be wrong. I think another dead giveaway is the eyes. No, the eyes look good because otherwise the eyes would have like inconsistent like highlights, and just like the two eyes would in general be like inconsistent with each other, but this looks pretty solid so far. I could be wrong. Another thing is like patterning. Like, look at the like see-through pattern here. That's usually another thing that AI tends to struggle with is like AI pattern, or is it just like patterns? This looks pretty consistent. It's like almost like a window shape that repeats itself. Yeah, it's like there's like a lot of little things that like are usually good tip-offs as to like whether it's an AI work or not. Everything looks pretty consistent. The lighting looks consistent. The patterning on like this dress, the like shirt over here looks consistent. So far so good, right? It does get a little complicated because sometimes people just take shortcuts with like drawing certain parts of anatomy or certain like parts of clothing. And then some people, like myself, are just not good at drawing hands. And that's one of my like fears, is being accused of like AI because I can't draw hands that well. But I don't know, usually you can tell the difference between someone who is just not good at drawing hands versus like an AI that just cannot even comprehend how to do it. Could be Punishing Gray Raven. Oh, interesting. But yeah, so background has really nice good brush work. It seems like they probably use like some kind of pattern brush. Color wise, I like the limited palette with a little bit of there's some cool light and color theory here. You see some like reflected blue lights and highlights. Let me zoom in here, because the main light source seems to be like this lamp over here, or it seems there's also sunlight, so it's illuminating from this direction a yellow highlight. I don't know if you can see you can kind of see my cursor. But on the other side, you also see some blue highlights as well. They seem to be coming from either the weapon or these little like glass thingies here. So multiple, oh yeah, look at these weapons as well. So those are also like giving you some kind of light source. But overall, beautiful job. Like drawing Freyrin at different angles. Yeah, exactly. Which that artist, they did a follow-up work. I think they're called like Space Day or Space Dev or something like that. They did a follow-up work, and it's like it's pretty inspiring. How about this? Let me see if I can find it on another window. Is it Space Dev 1, I want to say? Yeah, it's this person. I think this is the person. Yeah, this is their follow-up. They're improving. They're improving. I like to see it. You'll love to see it. 2 weeks later, modified after posting. Yeah, right? If you guys aren't familiar with the meme, this person had submitted this artwork to, I think, a subreddit. I don't know if it's like the Freyren subreddit. And they had this like earnest, you know, like I want to learn how to draw this better, and like the Twitter, like art Twitter just kind of exploded with like, oh, like it actually is a hard angle to draw, but here are some tips and pointers, and then people would like show their own rendition. And I think just a couple of days ago or yesterday, I forgot where, but this person did an update. And granted, it's still, there are some aspects that still look a little bit off, but like overall, it's like a really good improvement. So you'll love to see it. I love to see it. But with that, I feel like before I proceed, I should do some vocal warm-ups. So I'm actually going to, I think we do have an ad break coming up soon. Like 10 minutes. Should we do it early? I think we can go for an extra 10. We could do another work for another 10 minutes, and then I'll go into the ad break. I'll do my vocal warm-ups. And then hopefully that will keep the yaps going for a little bit longer. But yeah, thank you, DNWork, for showing off such a cool piece of fan art. Are you know what? We'll do this. I'm gonna take like just a water break right now. I'm gonna take some sips of water, and then we'll move on to this one. Okay, we're back. So this is the next work, which was recommended by Matthew. And this one is just called, okay, and it's a quote, so I can swear, because it's from a quote. This is Danny Galeote, and it's called "Oh shit, I chipped a nail." So this is a really interesting one because there's a little bit of storytelling in it. I'm not able to zoom in, unfortunately, unless maybe we can screenshot it and put it on PureRef. And maybe with PureRef we can zoom in on it. Okay, let's do it this way. Where is PureRef under my sources? Oh, PureRef, where are you? Oh, it's on my projector. There you go. Okay, so let's see what we have going on here. At first I actually didn't know what was going on until you actually do need a little bit of time to just take a look. Take a Mike's hard look at it and kind of go from there. So we do see what looks like the back of a female figure. She's wearing a cool dress. I am going to comment on the dress design as well because I think it's pretty interesting. She's looking at her nails, which is probably like the reference to like the title, like, oh, I chipped a nail. But in her other arm, in her right arm, she's holding a frying pan. And upon closer observation, there's someone on the floor. We're actually seeing this overhead shot. This right here is the floor. There's someone on the floor. They seem to be splayed out. I think this is just their signature, the artist's signature, but the fact that it's red and the fact that they also have like a red shirt has some implications, right? It implies that, you know, this person is splayed out because she just hit him with the frying pan. I think what's notable too is like the style, like the hairstyle, the dress, and even the style of the suit here evokes, you know, like 1950s or earlier, or 60s actually, like, you know, middle 1900s type feel. Kind of reminds me of I Love Lucy in a way, but also like a little the suit also like gives me some like gangster vibes as well. But there's a little, basically what I'm saying is there's a little bit of storytelling here. So clearly this woman had knocked this person over the head with a frying pan. The assumption might be like it's her husband because they're in this like domestic setting. It's like a frying pan. As opposed to say like she's walking down the street and someone just harassed her and she hit them with, you know, like whatever she had on hand, like her purse. The fact that it's like a frying pan and the fact that like there's kind of a tiled floor makes it seem a little bit more domestic. So maybe this is her husband, she whacked him over the head, and instead of being panicked, instead of being like, oh my god, I hit my boyfriend or I hit my husband, she's looking at her nails. She's more like, ah, dang it, chipped a nail. This feels inconsequential to the fact that she chipped a nail, right? And one thing I noticed from like further observation is if you look at the design on her dress, it's a yellow dress with turquoise, like bright turquoise circles and then like red around them. This actually reminds me of the skin and tentacles of a very specific kind of octopus. If I recall, I think it's the blue ring octopus, which is a type of octopus that's known for being extremely venomous. It's one of those octopus species that it's very small, but if it stings you, like you're done. I don't know if it's one of those like stings that like you survive, but you're donezo. Let's put away pure ref. There we go. This is what it looks like. So the coloration isn't like quite close, but it does have like, you know, these vibrant colors, and the vibrant colors is usually like a dead giveaway of like, oh, this animal is poisonous. Like, don't get close because this animal, not poisonous, venomous. There is a difference. Poisonous is if you eat this animal, wait, what was it again? Oh, if you eat or like ingest or bite this animal, it will kill you. Whereas venomous is if it bites you, then it poisons you, or you know what I mean, like it kills you. There is a difference between the two, so this is more so venomous. I don't know if you eat this, you probably would still die, so maybe it's both venomous and poisonous. But yeah, like the hyper saturated, the super bright and vibrant circles do just remind me of like her dress in a way. Like the coloration's not perfect, but I don't know, I do feel like that there is some kind of like correlation between that. So very, very cool storytelling. Also just very cool detail because you could literally see like the texture of the floor too. I don't know if linoleum is the right word for it, but you know, it's some kind of bathroom tile or kitchen tile. You even see like the texture of like the stripes on the suit here. You see the curls in her red hair, the pearls. You even see details like the musculature on the back as well. So pretty well done. I think that's pretty awesome, and I do like the aspect of storytelling to it. So yeah, thank you, Matthew, for recommending such a cool piece. Let me know if you guys notice anything else. But I do think I might take the first ad break pretty soon. Let me see. Let me put away the projector screen. Yeah, if you guys want to see this work for yourself, I'll put it in the chat. Actually, how do I do this without accidentally linking, maybe this? Put away pure ref. Okay, I think this should be fine. Copy link. No. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Thank you. But yeah, that's a pretty cool one. And thanks for pinning it as well. I think from here, I'm going to go ahead and put you guys in an ad break, 3-minute ad break, so I can warm up my voice. And then, like I said, we can keep the yaps coming. So let me go ahead and put you guys over at recess. I trust you guys will be good. And I'll see you guys in about 3 minutos. Bye-bye. Alright, I did my vocal warm-ups. And welcome back. Welcome back. We have quite a few people coming in after the ad break. Hello. Hello, Nina. Hello. Good evening, George. Male VTuber enjoyer. I know what I was doing in that chat. What were you doing in that chat? I do love Sklimbo. I think he's very cromulent. And then, kumusta ka? Kumusta ka, Nina? Hello, hello. I do love that emote. Good morning, Church. Alright, let's get back to class, shall we? We are still in the middle of some art appreciation. I was mentioning earlier that I was cleaning out my Twitter bookmarks, which I'm still in the middle of doing. I didn't do any during the ad break because I was doing my warm-ups. I was getting my water. But that's fine. I'll have plenty of time after stream to do so. But yeah, so we're continuing our art appreciation. We already looked at 2 works already. We got quite a few more. The next 2 are going to be medieval stuff. Medieval. And once again, I haven't done any research on these in the prior, so we're gonna see what information we can glean from them. But I just thought this one was neat. We've been compared. Did you finish those errands? Did you finish those errands? Did you finish those errands? I didn't. I didn't finish those errands. Though cleaning out my Twitter bookmarks though is also giving me other errands because I would save these things. Like a lot of the things that I add to my Twitter bookmarks are like things that I like have just gotten up. You know, like I'm still sitting in bed, I'm doom scrolling, you know, and I'm looking at things on Twitter and I'm like, ooh, when I get on my computer, I'm gonna look this up. So I bookmark it so that I can access it on my PC, and then I never look at it again. So I think that's why I just have so many bookmarks. So as I'm going through it, it's like when you clean your room or you do like a deep clean, you know, of your room or something. And it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. I should make an effort to like, you know, do the thing. Or like I should like put more effort into, I don't know, like I was gonna learn watercolor. I still haven't learned watercolor. So, you know, stuff like that. So that's what my journey through my Twitter bookmarks has been like so far. We were also playing All American Rejects, but I feel like we've passed all the songs that I know because I'm a fake fan and I only know, you know, the 2005. Well, we'll listen to Move Along. We'll listen to that whole album. Oh, actually, give me a second because I hear one of the cats at the door. Give me a second. Okay, both cats came in. It's the gruesome twosome. She only knows swing? No. Like, I know dirty little secret. Dirty little secret. Don't tell anyone or you'll just be another regret. Just another regret. We were playing All American Rejects because it's my brother's favorite band, which doesn't mean I know all the songs, but you know. It's because we played Rock Band. It's all just a constant chain of events. You start one thing and then reminds you to do another thing and then reminds you to do B, reminds you to do thing C. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So now I have like a bunch of things on my backlog of like, oh, I should watch Twisted Wonderland. I should watch, what else did I put on there? I think Appmon or Beat Break. Oh my god. I still have to watch the latest like Beat Break episodes. Watercolor's fun. A friend got me into daily watercolor exercise last year. I use watercolor as an example, but I did take a class like oh my god, it was like right before the Panera Bread. Right before the pandemic. Oh no, Gino, get off my computer. Oh my god. One of the cats, you see. He's hopping on top of the computer. He might press the power button. We'll see if I suddenly go offline, I think you guys will know why. It's because he's eating me. But yeah, I took a watercolor class. Well, actually, I took like an intro to painting class a couple years back. I want to say like 2019 or something like that. And then I took a watercolor class because I was really bad at watercolor. And I had a friend who I was telling that like, oh, I took an intro to painting class and I learned acrylic, watercolor, and gouache. And watercolor was the one I liked the least. And she was like, oh, you're impatient, aren't you? I was like, first of all, whoa. Second of all, yeah, I kind of am. So she was giving me some pointers and I decided to just take a class and I ended up getting a lot better at watercolor, but it was also right at the cusp of the pandemic. So a lot of our assignments became like online only. And I feel like I would have benefited more had I just like, you know, taken that class normally and gotten like, you know, real-time feedback instead of just like posting a picture and then the professor being like, all right, looks good, you know? Let's see, I know this song. Yeah. All these songs are bangers. I started doing a little backstory comic in watercolor and ink for my D&D character, but then ended up getting distracted and forgot to finish, but I was doing my spell cards in watercolor and mixed media. Yo, that's sick! I know that you're a fellow artist as well, right? So I've seen your cool works. So doing like mixed media is just like fun all around, right? But speaking of, thank you. Yeah, of course. Got to support the fellow artists. So, speaking of media, like that transition into the art appreciation, let's take a look at this work. This is called Vision of the Throne of the Lord, the Paris Apocalypse by an unknown French miniaturist. I don't know too much about miniature art other than the fact that it is miniature. Nice segue. Thank you. But yeah, other than the fact that it's miniature. So these are usually like painted on very, very small surfaces. But usually with like very, very intricate detail. So if anything, we could do some research on the fly of this. I'm going to do it in a separate window just because Google sometimes just likes to dox you when you Google random things. So let's see here. Visions of the Throne of the Lord. The Paris Apocalypse. I wish to see Apocalypse by John by episode. Wait, when? I'm looking on the Wikipedias. I need to know where this is from. Okay, the Paris Apocalypse. One Wikipedia, please. Ooh, okay. So here's what I was able to find. Let me direct to the right window. Sorry for the sudden shift to light mode, but let's see. Illuminated by the Sarum Master, the Paris Apocalypse is a stunning work of English Gothic manuscript illustration made around 1250. It is an extensively illustrated manuscript of the Christian biblical book of the Apocalypse, St. John the Divine's vision of events leading to the end of the time. Its 84 miniatures are distinguished by exquisite detail rendered in the tinted drawing technique favored in England when the manuscript was created. So why is it called the Paris Apocalypse then? Miniature mention. Hanel, hello. Hiya, teacher. What's up, Babing Cubs? Yeah, we're looking at some medieval manuscripts right now. Let's see what happens if we click this. I kind of want to see the size of it. I thought it'd be a lot smaller because we're talking about miniatures, right? Oh, these are exquisite. Oh, these are cool. You know what? I think these would have been small books for the time because if you look at certain like medieval manuscripts, they're kind of humongous. They're kind of large. So let's see what it says here. Manuscript book on parchment, 32. What the heck is a centimeter? Excuse me. Swallowed a saliva. I got too excited. 32.5 by 23 centimeters. So yeah, I think they're tiny books, not tiny sculptures. Yeah. So they're super tiny. Well, When I hear miniatures, I do hear that they're usually like very, very small. I have seen very small, let's see if we can, let me see if we can find like a good example. Miniatures, medieval manuscripts. Because some of them are tiny. But the book that we were seeing in that YouTube video, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I think that's a facsimile, because the website is all about facsimiles, which is basically like recreations of certain manuscripts. So maybe it was blown up and maybe the actual book itself was small. Here's the Wikipedia article on miniatures. The shaking cold is a small illustration to decorate an ancient or medieval illuminated manuscript. The simple illustrations of the early codices have been miniated or delineated with that pigment. Ah, so maybe it's not necessarily the size of the book, it's that the illustration itself is smaller. Let's see. These are like breathtaking. These are really nice, actually, because they're so detailed. Armenian Gospel. Please don't blow up ancient texts. They're rare and flammable. They're just so flammable, just like the bebenkubs. Just so soluble. Oh, this is sick. Look at this. These are the like angels, but also symbols of like the evangelist, right? Luke the Evangelist. Ah, okay. Keep it strong, move along, move along. Oh, these are great. Yeah, so this is just one of those kinds of examples where it's a part of an illuminated manuscript, and it's just full of like a lot of rich color. Even though I can't quite like see the scale of like how big this image would be, you can kind of see some hints with like the brush strokes. Right? At the same time, it's also possible that they just use like either like there are different sizes of brushes and all that. Back when people could actually see my bespectacled butt, it could never. I actually don't know like how early on people would have spectacles, because I feel like actually we could just Google it. When did glasses get invented? It says late, okay, Google AI, which, you know, isn't always the best source. It says 13th century Italy, but I feel like there might have even been earlier ones. We move along. Also, there's precursors in the Greek and Roman era. But yeah, like our current idea of like spectacles probably would have gone back to like the 13th century. So I think some folks might have been bespectacled while looking at some of these, but at the same time, let's look back at this work. Looking at the brush strokes, like, for example, like this white brush stroke on the back of this guy's cape, or even like the brush strokes here making the border, it seems like it is, like, this is a pretty small piece, but nonetheless, super duper detailed. Like, look at the details in all of the wings. Like, they drew every single, like, part of the wing, like, part of the feather. Like, both here and in these, like, symbols of the four evangelists. I unfortunately don't know which symbol corresponds to which evangelist, but I do know that it is the bull, the lion, the eagle, and the person. I read once that the reason why more people have glasses nowadays was because when we were younger, more people were staying indoors and straining eye peepers while reading instead of being in full sunlight. Unlike back then when more kids were outside utilizing full sunlight. For me, I sat next to the TV all the time, so it's one of those things that, like, I feel like I know why I have bad eyesight. It's because I was like a foot away from the TV while watching The Simpsons. And then most of my days are staring directly at my computer screen, either for work or for play. But I do think there is some kind of correlation between that, though, of like, you know, whether or not you are, you know, spending more time outside touching grass as opposed to like either watching TV or like on the computer. It looks so very detailed. A lot of care was put into it. They have glasses because they're nerds. That too. We forget the, you know, the inception of nerddom only started in the 13th century. Before that, there were no nerds. Wouldn't the old medieval monks be kind of nerds too? No, they're pretty cool. I played Pentiment. They were pretty sick. Nah, I think you are onto something, especially because they would have had candlelight to quite literally like illuminate some of their works, or to illuminate while they're making these illuminations. They might have worked by candlelight, if not natural sunlight. They can't be nerds because they made the booze. Exactly. But yeah, lots of details. I think something pretty notable too is like behind this whole scene. First of all, let's zoom out and just take a look at the scene as a whole. The piece is called The Vision of the Throne of the Lord. So this could be a depiction of someone, an angel most likely, or a saint. Probably an angel because of the wings. Which, by the way, the details on the wings, we're gonna get to that. But this looks like it's some kind of vision of the Lord, of course, as the title implies. The Christian God. They appear to be holding some kind of book. They are holding a scepter. They have a very ornate halo. I think that's something that I never really noticed during my studies, and it's only lately that I noticed, is that pay attention not only to the fact that figures have halos, but how ornate they are. Because here you see these two figures. These two are probably angels. They both have halos. This person also has a halo, so maybe some kind of saint. And then all these creatures have halos. But look at the halo around what might be God, and it has a little bit of like a cross with some extra design on it. I'm gonna go down for bed. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, Nina. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate you. And then they are, once again, they're surrounded by the four symbols of the four evangelists. So there is an angel that is beholding this vision. Also, a common motif you sometimes see in medieval manuscripts, or medieval art in general, is this, like, wound? I want to call it. There's this shape, right? And a lot of people have made connections to how do I say this? What's like the fancy term for what is give me a second. Yonic. There we go. Yonic is the word that I'm looking for. You know how if you want to sound very technical when describing a penis, you use the word phallic? So the female equivalent would be yonic, like Y-O-N-I-C. So you see kind of like a yonic shape. People have said that, like, oh, this looks kind of yonic, right? Like it looks like it could be a vagina, like the opening to a vagina, that kind of thing. Which, like, back then, it's not completely, it's not completely out of nowhere, because then you would be like drawing comparisons to like fertility and like, femininity and stuff. The world's entry, exactly. It's a mystery. I wonder what it could be. But at the same time, I think other people have also said that like this is also indicative of the shape of the wound on the side of Christ. When Christ was being crucified, he was stabbed in the side by a lance, or by a Roman soldier with a lance. The Lance of Longinus, as they call it. So people also say like, oh, that's also the wound, but it could also just be a general shape, I do need to do a little bit more research on like the shape overall, but you see this vision of God. And then another thing that I'm really appreciating too is the wings. Look at the wings, because once again, you see every single, I don't know what the little like parts of the feathers are called. I watched Eva, they lost the lance after a raid through it. They did lose it. What happened to that lance? Right? You'd think it'd be in like Rome or something, but no, it's doing other things. In space. Probably. But yeah, like look at the details on the feathers. It's like not only very ornate, but also they have these like colorations that kind of remind us of peacock feathers. And I think that's neat because instead of just actually, here's an example. There's more wings here. These are very ornately detailed, but like the wings here, they could have easily just made it orange, but instead they chose to put this cool like peacock design on it. So I think that's just neat. What else? So in the background too, you're seeing some figures that they almost seem like they're part of the background. They just have like blue skin, they're matching the blue sky, but you're also seeing crowns. You're seeing crowns, and then some of them are like playing instruments like the harp, the violin. So I don't know off the top of my head what this could be, but because they have crowns, so maybe these are past kings, right? That have like these are kings or like monarchies of the past. And maybe they are singing praises to the Lord over here. So it's interesting. It does remind me of, I do remember showing you guys a what is it? There was a Madonna of what was it? It was during like the Halloween art appreciation where it was like a virgin and child, but the virgin was very pale, almost deathly pale, and she was surrounded by angels that were just like this vibrant red or blue. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Let's see what else. So this is 1400. We are getting into there's a little bit of intersection between medieval times and the Renaissance, and you do see a little bit of that with like the technique of how they're rendering this building over here. There's a little bit of perspective. There's a little bit of like perspective with how they're drawing the buildings here. It's not perfect, but you know, it's not like true to life, but it doesn't need to be. That's the thing with medieval art, is that like the art never really needs to be realistic. It just has to send a message. It just has to have like the memes and icons that people of the time will recognize, right? Oh, and also look at the texture of this water here too. It's pretty cool. So yeah, ultimately, while I don't know exactly what is going on in the picture, it does seem like they are beholding the vision of God. There's some angels, there's some symbols, there's what might be a saint ascending a, you know what, they're going up stairs and they're being carried by an angel. Maybe this is a Jacob's ladder. What's the sphere God is standing on? I'm actually not too sure. I know that spheres are like a common piece of like iconography in Christian art. Usually the sphere could represent like the world. There is a specific depiction of Christ called Salvator Mundi, meaning the savior of the world. And usually in this depiction he's holding like a sphere that represents the world. So maybe that's what this is, but I actually don't know for sure. But that's a good question. It's a good question. Yeah, overall, I just think it's neat. Let's see. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I think I am gonna take another water break right now, just a short like 1 minute 30-second break. But if you guys find any details that I missed or want me to answer or try to research, you can let me know. But I'm gonna take a water break. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and go on to our next work, which I think is going to be really neat to look over because this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. At first, I even thought that it was AI. Or actually, you know what? We should do a quick check. The Black Hours from the Morgan Library. It seems legit. It does in fact seem legit. So what this is this is the Black Hours. This is, according, as per this caption over here, it says, there was a period of several decades in the mid-15th century when the Flemish bookmakers, Flemish, by the way, being in the Netherlands, Flemish bookmakers produced books with vellum dyed black, which could only be inscribed with gold or silver ink. This one is called The Black Hours from the Morgan Library in New York City. Yeah, from Flanders, exactly. Flanders! Stupid sexy Flanders. And if you guys want to see, the Morgan Library and Museum does have scans of these hours. Oh, look, we have some more information here. So let me move the mic really quick because I can't really see the writing that much. The Book of Hours, referred to as the Black Hours, is one of a small handful of manuscripts written and illuminated on vellum that is stained or painted black. The result is quite arresting. The text is written in silver and gold and with gilt initials and line endings, composed of chartreuse panels enlivened with yellow filigree. Gold foliage on a monochromatic blue background makes up the borders. The miniatures are executed in a restricted palette of blues, old rose, and light flesh tones, with dashes of green, gray, and white. The solid black background is utilized to great advantage, especially by means of gold highlighting. So we're not going to read the whole thing, but this is a pretty cool one. I'll send you guys this link that I'm using. If you guys want to see the manuscript for yourself. I went on a field trip to the Morgan Pierpoint Library once. Was neat. Learned about illuminating manuscripts. Yeah. You know what's fun is if you guys ever come to Los Pincos, the Getty Center, because there's two of them. There's the Getty Villa and the Getty Center. Getty Center is like on a mountain. Essentially, you have to take like a tram to get there. But it's a really interesting museum. I like going there occasionally, and they always have at least one exhibit about illuminated manuscripts because they just have like a huge collection of them. So like I remember a while back there was something like graphic design in medieval times, and there was like animals in medieval times. And actually, now out of curiosity, I want to see what is on view nowadays at the Getty Center. What do they have? They always have at least one like illuminated manuscript exhibit. So let's see, current exhibitions. Getty Center only. Going places, travel in the Middle Ages. So that's the theme. That's the theme from now until November 3rd. Oh, that's soon. That's in 2 days. Oh, so they're gonna switch it out soon. But I don't know if you're in Los Pincos for the next 2 days. Check out Going Places, Travel in the Middle Ages. But yeah, so it's good to know that they also have something similar in New York City. So yeah, we have a couple of other examples here. These are really cool. These are super cool. It's almost like a goth Bible. But there's like the crucifixion there. Let's see what else. Even the words are really cool. I have fiddled with the idea of like, oh, what if I'm not even religious, but it's like, what if I had like my own book of hours, right? Definitely not commissioned just for me, but you know, like what if there's someone who like in modern times just makes these, but I don't know how realistic that is. Because I don't know, it just seems like it'd be cool to have, you know. But yeah, here's a close-up shot of it, so you can see like it's on black paper. But they're using this like gold chartreuse. Chartreuse is like a funny color because if you look at it by itself, it's basically like poop brown. It's like a baby baby diarrhea brown. if I could describe it that way. But with the right color combinations, any color can look really beautiful. Even like, you know, slimy poop green, you know, poop brown. So like in this case, like this is chartreuse, like on its own, it's kind of a yucky color, but when it's paired with like this vibrant blue and these blacks, it looks more like gold. Some of these might actually be gold, but I think this one might be more so gold, but I think the lines might actually be more of a chartreuse. That's a beautiful blue, really nice pigment, right? I love it. I love it. As a pescatarian, do you still use leather and animal goods? Yeah, I still do. It's more so Beans that is a little bit more aware and vigilant about those things. Like we have vegan shampoo, for example, but I myself don't really like it's because like he cares a lot more about like animals and all that stuff. My reasoning for being pescatarian is just more health based. And it's not like I don't give a ish about animals. I am a bear after all, but it's just more of like, yeah, I this is mostly just like a health thing for me. Because manuscripts are like leather and vellum. Oh yeah, I remember like reading about like what it takes to make a book of hours. Yeah, I don't necessarily take it lightly to say like, oh, I should get a book of hours. Yeah, I know that like making them is like a lot of toil, right? Performative bear I am. I can perform. Look, watch this. Look. Yahoo! See? You like that as a performance? I am quite performative. I even drink matcha. I even drink matcha. That's how performative I am. Damn, I got put in my place. For a while, I wanted to get into bookbinding until I realized I don't write anything worth putting in a manuscript. But if you know, you took Latin, didn't you? I feel like you could just write random stuff in Latin, and that would, you know, I feel like that would cut it. You could put like the entire lore of Rand and Nuring in Latin and put it in a manuscript, and people would eat that. I know I would. Like people would eat that up. Not saying you really should, but like I feel like people wouldn't like research into like what the book says in Latin. It's like those people that get like the Japanese kanji or like the Chinese character like tattoos, not knowing that it says like fried chicken or something. Yeah, exactly. Write recipes in Latin, right? That would be sick. And if you need calligraphy, there's Almontes. That would be a cool project, right? Like it would be very intensive, and I feel like you could only do that with like VTubers that like um you know, like maybe I don't know, like maybe people donate to the cause or something, but like having a manuscript that is like or a book of hours that's completely made by VTubers, you know, like someone does the writes the text, someone translates into Latin, you know, that could be you, Matthew. Almontes would like write it in calligraphy, but then you would need someone that actually like, you know, puts it like etches it into like the vellum and stuff. Someone else bookbinds it, you know. That'd be a cool collective project, but also I don't know how doable it would be, right? But sometimes I just be saying things. But yeah, these details are really cool, like the use of color, the super vibrant color too, because like if you guys know like about like the colors blue and purple, especially in like the ancient world before like the onset of like you know, manufacturing and stuff like that, blue and purple are known as colors of royalty because it's not always easy to find that pigment in nature. I remember reading something like I could be wrong about this, but like blue pigment you would get from like a specific type of sea snail or something like that. You definitely saw a lot of blue in the Americas though, because I think they would just use a certain type of stone. I forgot what they would use, but there's a certain pigment called like Maya blue that actually let's just look it up. What pigment is used in Maya blue? Indigo dye, and a type of clay called palygorskite. So yeah, Maya blue would be made from that. So what type of pigment is used in blue in medieval manuscripts? Ultramarine, lapis lazuli, and indigo. Okay. So yeah, like I think purple was the more rare pigment, but like this blue, you know, the fact that it has so much probably meant that it was pretty expensive. Let's see. Anything else that we can see from the black hours? Because all this is just like sick, you know? Positive. Sick positive. Ooh, I want to see this. We could download it. I downloaded like straight to my computer. Yeah, if you're able, oh, this is actually really good quality. If you guys are able to click on the link that I gave you guys, you can actually download these pages. They're really sick. But otherwise, that is the Black Hours. I'm kind of curious about like what other books kind of look like this. And thank you, Matthew. Thank you for pinning that link. People are saying in the comment section too, what relatively recent book would be best suited to this aesthetic? I'd go with something like Till We Have Faces, something that gets into the themes of divine darkness and ephemeral nature. Maybe Faust by Goethe. What is... Ooh, that... You have my attention. I kind of want to look that up. Till We Have Faces. What is that? A Myth Retold is a 1956 novel by C.S. Lewis. Oh, interesting. Ah, I might check this out. Mayhaps perchaps. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we're done with like the medieval stuff now. I want to take another water break, but we only have a couple more works to look at. We got 3 more works, so I think we're probably gonna finish by like the 2.5 hour mark. But let me take another quick water break, and then we'll continue with this artist that I really want to look into because I know nothing about this artist, but the work is just so cool. Is water break code for something? Peggy, I have some tell you should look at in the bathroom. Yeah, it is. It's code for I'm assigning some assignments to my secret Cub assassins. I'm telling them like, you know what? We'll leave George alone tonight. We won't put any lactose in his dinner. Beseeching the bear gods for rain. Exactly. Yeah, you enjoy that lack of I actually don't even know if you're lactose intolerant. I'm just assuming. I'm just assuming because lots of people are lactose intolerant. I feel like it's more common for people to be lactose intolerant than like lactose tolerant, right? But anyway, let's look into this artist, Mark Major. Or actually, you know what? Let's take a look at this art first, and then we'll look at. Oh, why is it so small? Why is it so tiny? There we go. Ah, this is breathtaking. Oh, there's a little bit of like, there's some glitchiness here. So maybe we can just look at the artist Mark Maggiore. The myth of the American West comes alive. He's born in the 70s. So he's still alive. Oh, he's a French-American painter. Wait, this is wild. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the Wikipedia article for this guy. Mark Maggiore is a French-American painter, graphic designer, draftsman, musician, music video director, and lead vocalist of the nu metal band Playmo. That's quite the resume. He's noted for paintings of American cowboys, Native Americans, and the American Southwest. Cool. So he's also a musician. I think that's kind of sick. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, let's see if we can see more, like, works from him. Oh yeah, his works are very, like, cowboy. I want to be a cowboy, baby. By the way, every time I say that, it's from a Vine. I want to be a cowboy, baby. Ooh, these prints are really nice. "2,500 acres at stake, a letter from home, a long day on the range, missing horse." Yeah, this guy seems like he's really skilled at drawing clouds. Antonio Lujan Mirabal. Arizona Cannonball. A bear! It's one of my brethren. Oh, this is actually really cool because you could see like all of the like paint strokes on this. The clouds are insane. Yeah. This is a little sketch painting I made from imagination. It almost has a children's book vibe to it. Fresh and pretty. I like that the artist himself is like putting a little bit of commentary. Black cowboy portraits. You'll love to see it. These portraits were painted in 2020 during the same time I had been working on the painting Once Upon a Time. I love working on little studies like that. And make these very expressive boards of faces. Black cowboys are a part of American history. Ooh, yes. Preach it. Yeah, the way he draws clouds is insane. And then like Native American designs. I want to see if we can find the one that we were first looking at. But a lot of them, oh, this is so sick. The one we're looking at has like cactuses in it. Oh my god, their color theory is like insane. This is so good. It's this one, Sonoran Magnetism. This painting expresses the feeling of a late summer ride in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. When the monsoon thunderheads are taking the sky and the air becomes electric, magnetic, the riders on the photo are the air becomes electric, comma, magnetic. The writers on the photo are working cowboy Chris O'Connor and Bo Ellis. Oh, okay. It's like based on like actual people. Oh, this is an amazing zoom in. Okay, I'm gonna link this to you guys. His whole website is awesome. This is like so breathtaking. I don't even know where to start. We could start with the clouds, but we could also start with like the people here, right? So I'm noticing just as we like scroll through this guy's stuff, it's a lot of like people on horseback, of course, but they're usually in some kind of desert or like mountainous you know, like area. And a lot of the times the horses aren't moving. It's usually this like kind of period of calm where you're, you know, like they're probably like resting, or they're taking a breath, or they're looking back, or they're checking their surroundings, right? It almost, a lot of his paintings feel like nice quiet moments. But with this one specifically, because he's bringing up these like themes of like electromagnetism and stuff like that. It feels like you could look at this work and almost hear like distant thunderclouds, right? Like for the most part, it's quiet, it's tranquil, but you could hear like the distant like boom, you know. And I kind of love their color theory because like usually when you see like, if I don't scroll up all the way and you can't tell that these are clouds, it does feel very deserty, right? Because of the use of like the yellows and the oranges, and the ground is actually more cool. Like they use more cool colors. I also love their detail of like the cactuses here, the cacti, I guess. There's a lot of texture, right? You feel the little spines here, and then the little like grasses that are peeking out. And then overall, the whole like work is a little bit warm, except for like the like distant background over here, because the clouds themselves are very orange. Ooh, and then look how they contrast from like the blue turquoise sky. So overall, it's warm, and you even see that with like the colors here on the horses and on like the people, because this is a white horse. But if I were to color pick this, it probably wouldn't be white at all. It would probably be closer to like a brown, like a desaturated brown. And then this is definitely like a warmer brown. And then let's zoom out so you can get the entire thing in its majesty. The way he draws clouds is like super breathtaking because you see like so much texture. Because usually when we think of clouds, we usually think of them as very fluffy. Like if we just zoom in here, yeah, that looks like a pretty fluffy cloud. He even like softens the edges to make it look fluffy. But within like each like wrinkle of the cloud, it gets a little bit more textured, and it kind of gives way to this like stormy feeling. It contributes to that whole feeling of like, oh, you hear like the thunder in the back. The music is like kind of sort of like matching the tone too. Yeah, this is breathtaking. Let's take a look at a couple of other ones. Overall, their colors are like amazing. This is another one that I really like, where it just feels like a moment of rest, a moment of like peace. There are some like motion ones too. There are some ones where like the horse is like in motion. I don't even know which one to pick. These are all like beautiful. I like the colors on this one. Mariposa Afterglow. Yes, Taos has some of the best sunset ones can witness. I haven't exaggerate the colors here. You have to go to northern New Mexico to experience this. I like that he's like advertising. Like you should go to New Mexico to see this. This is sick. Oh my gosh. Look at this white horse, but they're using like blue for some of the shading. There's a little bit of purple. The light has like a vibrant yellow in it. This is inspiring. Like I want to learn how to paint, you know, I want to learn how to use colors like this. They're using blue. They're using blue for their shadows. That's so sick. The expression is nice and solemn here. You see a little bit more blue in the shadow here. Like anything that's white, he's using it like to its strengths, because like the shadows are very cool and blue, but still vibrant. And the highlights just as vibrant, but a little bit more on the warmer side. And then you can also see how he's softening the edges of like the background of the mountains here by using like a touch of pink, a touch of, you know, like what is this, like a blue, a touch of yellow. Just those little touches like soften the whole thing up. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And the bear. I love bears. I am a bear. So yeah, this speechless. I love it. I'm actually gonna take this window and put it on my personal window on here, just so that I don't forget. Yeah, that is the work of Mark Maggiore. Bookmark one of his paintings recently too. Yeah, oh my gosh. His color is fantastic. Hand painted too. No way. Oh, okay, hand painted as in like with a brush, not like digitally. I thought it's like this guy uses finger paints? That's insane. Oh, it's funny that this is reacting to this. It's kind of astonishing how much of this painting is just absolute gibberish. None of these leaders are Dene, Navajo, or live anywhere near Monument Valley. No wagon trails ever cut through Monument Valley. This image is very clearly based on scenes from the 1968 film Once Upon a Time in the West. Ah. So this is a reaction to that. That's pretty funny. Okay, we only have 2 more artists to look at now. We still have a little bit of time before the ad break, so we'll still like take a look at this, and if the ad break hits, it hits. That's fine. But this is the work of Eric Bowman, so let's take a look first at some of these images. It kind of has a very similar vibe to the one that we were just looking at, Maggiore. Because it is very like almost southwestern feel, but you definitely have a different vibe with this one. There are some similarities. Ah, so this is being described as like semi-surrealist Western native art. I think it's because of the way that things like the clouds and like the plants are drawn. They're a little bit more generalized, not in a bad way, but it does give this like surreal effect to it, right? The way that this cloud in particular is like painted with like this drastic shadow almost makes it feel like it's a part of like a TV set, right? But it looks cool, and I like that you see so much texture just in the sky. It's not a smooth transition, but it is like, I don't know, a very intriguing one. Ooh, this one I like. Ooh, this one has like nice details too, like the little sliver of moon here. This one too. It's very like, it's almost like fantastical. It's almost like a American Southwest fantasy. And kind of similar to Maggiore, like you're seeing a lot of like quiet moments. Like this one, like the horse is in motion, but not at like a full speed trot, you know, or a full speed run. These are also like quiet moments. Yeah, I think the use of color, it's interesting because like I was gonna say like it's a little bit more like subtle compared to Maggiore, but no, this person is still using like vibrant colors. It's just that the way that they're mixing the colors together, like it's not there's not a lot of you got this like explosive contrast between like, you know, this vibrant turquoise versus this vibrant orange. This one is more so like you have a vibrant blue, but it's contrasted with like some more subtle tones. And just the shapes of the plants too, like I said, it feels very like fantasy like even this almost feels like an alternate universe where like Star Wars takes place like still on a desert planet but with like an indigenous like main character, right? I like their color theory too, because even if it's not as vibrant as Maggiore's, they still have like very cool like contrast. Oh my god, we always swing back to Paramore. Like, look at how the pinks, like this is almost a pink color and it's contrasting with like this very light turquoise sky. They also softened up the shadows here as well with this. Let's see. Oh no, that's another artist. Take it from the top. I like this one too because it's almost like, are they in some kind of crater, you know? I think, let's see what research we can bring up with this guy. So this is Eric Bowman. Wow, I never meant to brag, but I got what I wanted now. Whoa, it was never my intention to brag. See it all the way from you now. Oh, it seems like they might still be active because they have an Instagram. They also have a website, Eric Bowman Fine Art. I wonder if this guy is indigenous, because Bowman just like sounds like it would be. Oh, this is cool. I love the texture. Meet me here tomorrow. Do we have any about? There we go. Oh, cool. Eric Bowman was born in Pasadena. Yo, that's in SoCal. Grew up in Orange County, where he was always the class artist throughout his elementary and high school years. Early on, various art-related jobs such as silkscreen, TV printer, or surfboard airbrush artist led to a lengthy and successful career as a commercial illustrator, eventually transitioning to fine art painting. Never my intention to brag. Oh, cool. So they did a lot of shows. God, does it feel so good? 'Cause I got what I wanted now. You know you would. The storyteller. I'm curious about this. Oh, wow. I don't know for sure if he's like native, if he's indigenous, but oh wow, these look like storybooks. This definitely gives me like the like Star Wars vibes, right? Would be neat if Renaissance painters had their own Instagram accounts. That would be cool. That would be cool. I'm trying to remember what's the name of the planet again with the 2 moons? I feel like I should know this. Star Wars planet 2 moons. Wait, Tython? No, wait, where's Luke from? Tatooine. No, that's... Is it Tatooine? But I got what I wanted now. My intention to brag. Still away from you now. Oh, it is Tatooine. Yeah, it is giving me the Tatooine vibes, right? I mean, it's just one. It's just one moon, but you know. But I don't know. There's something about like the use of color here. It's more subtle than, like I said, than Maggiore, but it still has like this beautiful contrast. And if you look really closely, you could see like the brush strokes on the canvas here. Oh, it's not canvas, it's panel. Oh, okay, okay. Horse butt. Your heart. And I like the effect on the outline of the shadow too. Not only is it softened, but there's also a little bit of like more color to it. It's more saturated. So it kind of like builds up on this feeling of like, oh, it's a hot day. The sun is kind of beating down on you, you know? Oh yeah, this one has like richer color as well. I like that. So many bright lights that cast a shadow. Yeah, you know what? The vibes between Maggiore and Bowman are very similar, and I kind of appreciate in a positive way. But I kind of like that Bowman does have like a bit of a like fantasy feel. Wait, why is it so small now? There we go. He has a bit of a fantasy feel. This feels like something you would see in like a storybook, right? To keep on living. This too, because the face of this elder is very like realistically rendered, but there's something about the background that makes it feel like I said, almost like a Hollywood movie set, but almost with like a bit of fantasy and like surrealism sprinkled in. I think that's what I'm digging from this guy. How about this? I'll link you guys to this website, ericbowman.com. So that you guys can appreciate it during the ad break, because we are about to get into another ad break. Once we come back, we only have one more artist to really look into. And then after that, I think I am going to call it around 9 o'clock so I can rest up a little bit, because I am getting hungry. I might want to finish off some of my leftovers, some of my fish. Let's send you guys over to the Cub Corner. Alright, enjoy that link. Fish-shaped turkey, exactly, exactly. Enjoy My Chemical Romance. Alright, we're gonna go on the ad break. I'm gonna converse with my Bebinkob assassins. So... We're back, and I forgot about this song, and it's just funny listening to it because of the whole this part of town. Like, they don't just say town, they say town. Beeplebees, hello, hello, hello. Sneef snorf. Hello, hello. We just came back from our last ad break. We're actually at the tail end of our art appreciation, but you could still appreciate some art with us. And I'm also listening to, I guess, emo music? I say that as if I don't regularly listen to emo music, but it's just this song. I just know the first line, "Where is your boy tonight?" You just got back from Hot Pot with your sister. It was fun? Nice! Oh, Hot Pot sounds good. Sounds good. What did you have in the Hot Pot? May Shark, hello, hello, hello. You know what? I'm gonna queue up Centuries after this. Add to queue. We were looking at some pretty cool artists. For a quick review, I think I already like exited out of some of them, but let me bring those back. Some turn to dust or to gold, but you will remember me. My boy is in the yard. He was looking for a milkshake. It does bring all the boys to the yard. That is the thing, though. All right, let's get back to class. Remember me for centuries. Ah, this song was banger back in the day. And the next one is Thanks for the Memories, also known as Thanks for the Memories. This one was so banger. Okay, let me make sure I can see the chat. There we go. So yeah, we were looking at the work of Eric Bowman, and then before that we were looking at the work of Mark Maggiore. Because we already finished looking at them, I'll just show you some, like, a couple of pictures. But look, a bear! They seem like pretty solid artists, too. So, I love it. Haunts. I had beef, lamb, and mushrooms mostly. Ooh, yummy, yummy. Haunts. Yeah, haunts. We were looking at, like, both of these artists seem to have, like, some similar themes of, like, cowboys in the Old West. And they're both still alive. They're both like contemporary artists. Wait, where is this print? Here we go. Print archive. I've become dense. Yeah, there we go. Look at it. They have like a lot of cowboy stuff, but also some native, indigenous American like portraiture as well. Black cowboy portraits. But this one is awesome too. Because it seems like they are looking into like the actual patterns and stuff. I love the way that they portray lighting. It's so atmospheric. Yes, yes, yes. So we were looking at that. And then the follow-up artist was Eric Bowman, who like also draws like, you know, people on horseback. But more so, it looks more like indigenous folk. But Bowman's work has a little bit more of like a fantastical, like almost surreal vibe to it. We were saying how, like, even this, the way that they draw backgrounds almost feels like a Hollywood TV set, but not in a negative way, in just more of, like, a fantastical way. And a commenter here even said semi-surrealist Western native art. So those clouds look yummy, right? Yeah, so those are the two artists that we were looking at. We have one more before we call it for the night. But both of these artists, I'm digging them. I like their art a lot. So let me put this on my personal window. So this is actually the last artist we're going to be looking at. It's a New Zealand artist, surrealist painter called Brent Wong, born in 1945. So they might still be alive. Let's look this person up. So yeah, we're going to be seeing some like surreal works. Like some empty barren landscapes, but with like these threatening like architectures in the back. Threateningly large, by the way. You can tell by the fact that they are far away because of the atmospheric perspective, but they are massive despite that. So we'll explore that. But I want to look into this artist, Brent Wong, from New Zealand. Here's his website, or their website. So the whole idea of like barren landscapes too is pretty interesting. So let's see. The purpose of this site is to publish and catalog some of the works of Brent Wong, essentially a visual presentation with notes. It contains samples of early works, unfinished paintings, and land and seascapes, and light and energy works. Born in New Zealand, Wong spent his early life in the capital, moving north to the main commercial center for the time before settling on the west coast. Surrealistic, realist visionary. His interest in the meditative nature of the static image has deepened, and in 2008 Brent abandoned painting to explore music composition, a field that has interested him since the beginning of his painting career. So he doesn't paint anymore. Unfortunate, but still. Let's look at his work. Ooh, okay. So, oh, wow. So they definitely do some like architectural surrealism. I'm not super familiar with like architectural surrealism, but I have heard of other artists that do so. What was her name? Like Vera Carrington or something like that. Does like I think architectural surrealism. Let me look it up. Leonora. I think it's Leonora Carrington. Is this the person that I'm thinking of? No, that's a different person. That is a different person altogether. Architectural surrealism. It was a female artist too. Female artist. I think is it Dorothea Tanning? Dorothea Tanning. It's not her either. Who am I thinking of? There's like a female surrealist artist. K-Sage? K-Sage. It's K-Sage. Love just how incomprehensibly large the buildings are. Yeah, that's the scary part. So this is what like this is what their work kind of reminds me of. You see like architectural works with like barren landscapes, right? So this is the work of K-Sage. This is like during like the surrealist art movement. So like Frida Kahlo, Leonora Carrington, Remedios Varo. So this seems to kind of be hearkening to that period, or they might be inspired by it. This feels very Dali. Like, maybe because there's an egg, but like this feels a little like Salvador Dali. But you also have like these barren landscapes with just things floating in the background, environs. Let's see what else. What else can we find? Because we want to build up to... Oh no, these were his early works. Alright, so this is 1971? That's crazy. So yeah, that's kind of the big thing that we're noticing with these landscapes is that you see these like houses that like if you're not really concentrating on the houses, they just seem like houses. But the more you look at it, the more like kind of incomprehensible it seems. Oh, no, I meant to go... No! I want to go this one. There we go. The more like something feels off about the architecture itself, but more notably is like if you look in the background, you get these structures that are implied to be very far away because of what's called atmospheric perspective. Atmospheric perspective is basically the more further away something is, especially if it's outside, the more likely you are to see like this blue tint to it, and it's almost like the colors are washed out. The reason for that is because like it's invisible, but not the atmosphere around us actually does have like a tint to it. It has like or not a tint. It's hard to kind of explain, but basically like there is atmosphere in between you and say like mountains in the distance, and that atmosphere is what's tinting the mountains blue. So when you see this like both in real life and in art, it's meant to show that like this is meant to be far away. The moon actually has it. Like this is a good example. There's a little orb in the corner here, and it has a blue tint, and the colors are washed out. This implies that it's very far away. But what's kind of scary is that like it's far away, but it still looks very large. Like it's as big as this like as this building over here, this architecture that we see here. So that just means that this must be massive. Like this is like This is like world-ending, like world-endingly massive. And yet it's just kind of ominously floating there. It doesn't look like it's about to hit, you know, the Earth or whatever this planet might be, because we're just assuming it's Earth. It's just ominously floating there, you know? It's just there, and I think that's what adds a little bit of horror to it. Like, for one, why is everything so barren here? Except for this little house. And then what is this big imposing thing in the background that seemingly is dwarfing this moon? It's also possible that like this is just closer and the moon is a little bit further away, but they're using the atmospheric not pressure, atmospheric perspective to add a little tinge of horror to it. Surreal horror. It seems like this guy also plays around with... It's aura farming. Exactly, May. Exactly. Ngeg. I was looking from afar. I thought that egg was a mushroom. I think that's fair, though. So this person seems to play a lot with perspective, with scale, because you have this giant fruit over here. Could be a peach. We have egg, the gig. You also have, like... They also put little subtle things, too. Like, I'm not sure if this is just a consequence of, like... how the print is, but there's also a line that's like cutting right through the middle of it. It's a little subtle, you can't really see it that well, but there is a line. There's also like a little like ghost of a letter K here that's mirrored. The teacup, there's like what looks like dirt coming out from like this like metal casing over here. That's the baby peach from James and the Giant Peach. Exactly. This too, this one's interesting because like once again, barren wasteland. There's some greenery, it's not completely barren, but it's just a lone train on its way, and then around it it's a little subtle, but there is some like squares and lines here where normally that's not something you usually see in like a landscape like this. So I don't know, it's a lot of questions being asked. It's very mysterious, right? Oh, this too. How's it doing that, you know? How's it balancing like that? It seems to defy our understanding of gravity and physics. So it's almost like this looks like something that could be Earth, right? With the volcano, with the blue sky, but clearly the rules of physics are being broken here. So maybe this is some kind of alien world. I think that's what's creating the surrealism, what's creating the little like you know, unnerving nature of it. Society. It reminds me a little bit of another one of my favorite artists. Let's see. Harris art? Burdick. The Mysteries of Chris Van Allsburg. There's another one of my favorite artists. Chris Van Allsburg. Because he also does like kind of surreal imagery. You know what? I will go back to The Mysteries of Harris Burdick. That ruins like the building in Corregidor, most normal location in Ohio. It kind of, so this is what it reminds me, but with more trees around. Wait, Corregidor. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. So Corregidor Island in the Philippines. Let's look at some pictures. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's compare. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait. The resemblance is kind of uncanny, especially with like how empty the ruins are. Like you don't even see the rest of the building anymore. Oh, that's so cool. I do wonder if it was an intentional like reference or not. But the whole like, I don't know, the surreal like almost fairy tale nature of it reminds me of this book called the Mysteries of Harris Burdick. I think I've showed this to you guys before. It's actually one of my favorite childhood books because it's just a collection of open-ended illustrations with like one line of text. I think this one has it. Oh, what is that? What is this? Yeah, it'd be like this, where like it would just show you like one image and like a sentence. And I remember my English teacher would use it as a way of like, oh, write a story about this. But it's also good to just like admire by itself. So for example, like I think this is my favorite image, the third floor bedroom. It all began when someone left the window open, and if you look carefully, the window's open, and there's birds on the wallpaper, but one of them seems to be like coming off the wallpaper. And there's also an empty spot where presumably another bird had already like left. So it's mysterious, it's surreal in a way. So that's kind of like the same like vibe I'm getting from these, where it's like it feels realistic, it feels like it's of the earth, and yet it's not, you know? What was the title again? It's The Mysteries of Harris Burdick. And it's illustrated by a guy named Chris Van Allsburg. So this is one of my favorite books. I actually have it in my book collection behind me. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I think one of these days I'll show you guys the whole book. Maybe on Discord. I keep saying that I want to do these like Discord only streams. So maybe it should be like a I'll show you guys like my book collection that I wouldn't be able to stream, or else the author would come for me and be like, we're gonna hunt her bile, we're gonna get that sweet gallbladder of hers. But yeah, that is actually the last artist that we are looking at for today. But if you guys want some more art, there you go. Oh, if you guys also want this the website for this painter, there you go. Discord thingies. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Story time on the Discord. Story time on Discord. I do have quite a few like picture books. At first it was just to save for like when me and Beans have a cub, essentially. Or cubs. But at the same time, I have all these picture books that I can also share with all y'all, right? My Babine cubs. Bill. So let's see here. That is pretty much the last artist that we were gonna look at, and I do think that I'm gonna call it here because I am hungry and I want to eat some Thanksgiving leftovers, specifically some fish. Education filled bile. No, I need that bile. Don't take my gallbladder, or I guess you can take my gallbladder, but but it has to be like a good surgery. You can't just leave me in the ice tub, you know, with like haphazard stitches. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and call it here, but we will still mosh. So, it was pretty short today in comparison to other art appreciation streams, but for one, I want to clean up my Twitter bookmarks, but I also want to get some foodum. So, you heard that we can take the gall. You can. But you know, make it painless. Please give me the painkillers. Let's see what we are moshing to today. Oh my god, what is this? It's in hiragana, so I can kind of read it. Dancing hero megastarmy. Dancing hero megastarmy. It's a little short to mosh to, though. Abstract rhythm and time digital art with Apple Music? What the? I want it that way. Metal cover? I am ready. I think we found our thing. I think we found what we're moshing to. You heard her, guys. Leave her in the ice tub. No, not in the ice tub, please. I get cold easily. I get cold super easily. I need a blankie. No, and also I don't like it when my fur is wet. Okay, guys. I'm gonna call my anesthesiologist friend. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think we have an agreement then. You can have the gallbladders as long as I'm knocked out, and as long as you at least give me a blankie if you're gonna put me in the ice tub. Maybe even a teddy bear. Maybe one that looks like me, preferably. Anyway, let's go ahead and mosh. We'll call it for today. For any folks who have never moshed with us before, all you gotta do is once you hear the music, start spamming your favorite emotes in the chat, and then I'm going to set a command to make your little Babinkub avatars fight each other. There's no correlation between who wins the mosh pit and how many emotes you spam. It's RNG, and it's not rigged. It's not. Don't believe the propaganda. No, I have ad block. Why does it do this? Alright, you guys ready? I see that smiley face. It's not rigged. My fire. Desire. RNG rig now, gal? No. I want it that way. Worlds apart. Your heart. Fatality. It's rigged, you gotta pay her $10 per one. No, it's not. Tell me why. Oh, let's go. I love this music video. Ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. The one desire. Let's make this a little bigger. Want it that way. Ain't nothing but a party. I said party. No! Oh no, it's not rigged. It's not rigged. It's not. It's not. Uh-oh. Whoa. It's not rigged though. It's not. Look, round 2 fight. As expected? No. Meant you to know. Deep down inside of me. My fire, the one desire. You are. Is he doing the JoJo pose? Like, not rigged, it's not. Nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Exposed! I want it that way. Many such cases is crazy. No! Why did I get the health pack? No! Oh no. This is terrible. Do we have enough time for round 3? Please, please. Please. No. No, one more. One more. Run it back. Run it back. Not many such cases. 2 in a row. Aw, jeez. This isn't a good look. This isn't a good look. Come on, you guys can beat me this time. Look, see, Rinrin got the health pack. See? If you guys use teamwork. Ah, not me getting the health pack, dude, no. If you guys work together, I'm sure you can defeat me. Oh no! My Babinka destroyed Rinrin. You did it! You did it! It's Mayshark versus Church. It's Mayshark. You see? You have the opportunity to do the funniest thing. No, no. I swear it wasn't rigged. Sometimes that's just how the RNG does. Have you ever thought that maybe I'm just good at it? It was the health packs. I'm telling you it's the health pack. I'm telling you. We're gonna raid into Owen. He's doing a tubathon. A Black Friday tubathon. It's gonna be fun. He's I think he's building Gunpla? No. It's Legos. It's Legos. But I'll see. I won rig? No! I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna study. It's study hall. But I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Bye-bye. It's not rigged! It's not! Gosh darn it. Yeehaw. We raid.